Hello, criminal justice enthusiasts, and welcome back to JudgeSim. In the last episode, we tackled more thorny issues from the real world that they've put into a video game. In this one, we have John Wayne Gacy here. Great. All right. Well, he's definitely guilty. Not sure who these other two people are, but know who he is well enough. I can say he's guilty. Yeah, he's guilty. Yeah, you can see what he's been guilty of before. We're going to try to avoid saying the term if I can, because I'd rather not have my video have issues. Recently, a young man named Robert Weiss, who worked in a pharmacy, disappeared. Police teams that started an investigation detained people with whom Robert last spoke and who had a criminal record. Oh, these other two have a criminal record? Oh, great. Great. Not long after, Robert's lifeless body was found in the deserted forest behind the pharmacy where Robert worked. During the investigation, it was found that Robert was bitten to death. Interesting. Cute kid. Shame this happened. Am I going to be targeted as the killer just because he talked to me? I didn't kill him. If I had killed him, I would not have bitten him. If I had bitten him, he wouldn't have stayed in one piece. You wouldn't have found the body if he remained in one piece. I got heated at the moment, but not that much. Besides, biting? That's not something I would do. Okay. Tooth mark found on the victim's neck. There is a tooth, not a tooth. Alright, so we're missing 3 teeth. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we got too many teeth in his mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Seems like too many teeth there too. And we have a winner. Alright, so this guy did it actually. Gacy wasn't the one at fault here. Why do you look like a clown? While I was selling balloons to children, the police caught me. I'm sorry I didn't have an opportunity to change my clothes, Judge. What was the last thing you talked about with Robert? He talked about the effect of antidepressants and muscle relaxants on humans. He talked a lot, but he was a very sweet boy. I could listen to him for hours. How can I be sure you didn't kill him? Young men are the future of this country. I love young men as much as I love my country. I would even give my life to keep him alive. Is that why you did that to a young man? What? Never. I am the victim of a complete misunderstanding. In your statement, I think you wanted to give a hint about your methods of killing. Or are you the murderer? Opposite. I tried to explain I wasn't the killer. When you're talking to Robert, some people saw you or heard you yelling at him. Is there anything you would like to say about this? Could you speak a little louder, Your Honor? I'm having a hard time hearing you. I don't hear very well in either ear. You tried to kill someone in church before. May I know the reason? He asked me for help making a sacrifice in return for God's mercy on him. I was just trying to help. Are you a nervous person in your daily life? A few people around me try too hard to... Other than that, I'm a very calm person. I don't know what he's meaning there. How can we be sure that you didn't commit the murder? I need a lot of reasons to kill a young person. I don't have the reason right now. Doesn't mean it may... Does it mean that it may be in the future? I didn't imply anything like that. Alright, so let's go back here. Let's check these dental records again here real fast. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Peralt Dish is the criminal. You're not guilty this time. You're also not guilty this time. You, on the other hand, are guilty. You bit the guy to death. I'm going to say that shows extreme malice. Let's give you 100 years. I mean, you're going to die soon enough in there from the look of you, so yeah, we'll give you 100 years for that. I could have executed him, but you know what? I'm going to let him rot in prison. We got some crossing guards over here, maybe? Not sure. Ned Washington and Peggy Wiley, who introduced themselves as climate activists, staged an aggressive action at the De La Bow Museum. Alright then. The famous painting Mona Lisa by the world-famous artist Leonardo da Vinci, which is at the Louvre, I think is what it's supposed to be, museum, recently was attacked by climate activists by throwing tomato puree. There was no material damage thanks to there being protective glass in the work. However, the museum management said that they are very often subjected to such actions. Museum management is seeking $250,000 in compensation as moral compensation for the action. Present value of the work is approximately at $150 million. The world will not be a better place when you attack the labor of an old man who lived many years ago. Climate activists need to understand this. This is being hostile to art, nothing much. If you are so concerned about the climate in the world, then go and declare war on those responsible. You can't solve these problems by attacking museums. This nonsense needs to stop. If people are shown some of the same interest in our world and our future as they do in these works, the world would be a very different place today. Can you imagine they can pay $850 million for a canvas, but today no one wants to spend money on preventing climate change? Because of the climate, people can go hungry and thirsty. Irregular migration is increasing. Animals are becoming extinct. Our world is becoming an uninhabitable place. We want to raise awareness about them. Someone has to step up. We are not the problematic members of society. We just want to draw attention to people's real problems. So we are forced to take such actions, because everyone ignores some facts. Among them is the fact that we are destroying the world. The future of all of us and our children is at stake here. Not to show this fact to people, but we can destroy even 1 or 100 or 1,000 artifacts. Where do you get the idea that attacking artifacts creates social awareness? Could it be that the situation causes an antipathy in people? Our aim is to create a global awareness, not a social one. We tried to do it the normal way, but people preferred to play the three monkeys. Now they are exposed to at least some facts, and it weighs heavily on them. They need time to digest. Well, in this regard, Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but your decision in this case will set a precedent in many respects. I'm not angry that people aren't doing anything about climate change, but please don't stop those who are trying to do something. The dinosaurs didn't realize what was going to happen to them, but we do. Oh, I am glad you said that I am going to impact things. Is there anything you would like to add? Your Honor, I don't even want to imagine what kind of damage our museum would have suffered if there was no protective glass. I ask you to impose this punishment so that these actions do not continue. We need to solve some things through reason and logic, not with vandalism. Alright, this one is a real simple decision for me. As soon as I saw the words here, climate activists, I knew my decision. Personally, I am tired of people like this. Particularly when it comes to the climate activists. There are other groups that protest and sort of whinge about topics, but the climate activists seem to take it to an entirely other ridiculous level. And it needs to end. So, I am not saying that there is not a climate problem going on. I am not saying that we don't need to make changes. But throwing soup at a painting, gluing their hands to random objects, all of this kind of idiotic behavior is just ridiculous. It is the act of entitled children who feel that they are somehow special and that the world needs to listen to them. and their acts are basically tantrums being thrown because people don't want to listen to them. The reality of the situation to me is very, very obvious. People have their own lives to live. We have our own things that we are doing. For myself, I enjoy playing video games. I don't want my video games to be interrupted by some whining person that wants to tell me about what they care about in life. So, if they were to do that, I wouldn't be happy with them. And I completely agree with how myself, in this case, the judge, said things of, don't you think you're basically getting people to dislike your position? And that is completely true. But the arrogant climate activists really embodied the actual view of many of these people, that they're raising awareness somehow. All they're doing is raising people's anger at them. A perfect example happened, I believe, in California, where they blocked a road, and because of their blocking of the road, an ambulance wasn't able to get through properly. Now, if you care about people so much, you think you would care about an ambulance getting through to help people. But they aren't considerate. They don't actually care. They only care about what they feel is important. And to me, it's ridiculous. I am very much sort of anti protest overall because if it's climate, if it's a war, whatever it is that's being protested, I completely agree that a person has the right to freedom of speech. But protests as of late haven't been about freedom of speech. They have been about making other people suffer in some way, whether it be trying to destroy something or whether it be harassing other people who are just trying to live their lives. That's not protest. It is the modern version of protest, maybe, but it isn't what protest was supposed to be. It isn't about freedom of speech. It is an attempt to be freedom of criminals. And so, definitely, if these cases come before me in the court, I am without a question holding them responsible for whatever I can. I will, without a question, give the museum the $250,000. Personally, if I got to make the decision, I wish that I could find them guilty because I would have thrown them in jail as well. I would have said that that was attempted destruction of property, and I probably would have given them a roughly 5-year sentence so that they could cool their heels in there and think about how childish and idiotic they were being. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get off my soapbox because I went on a little bit of a rant there. I apologize. But I will say, this was one of those cases that definitely did hit a nerve with me because these people have annoyed me. Deterrent penalty has been imposed for climate activists. You're darn right. I wish I could have done more. Alright, on to the next case. Last case on the video. Alright, we got Sydney pink hair here, and we've got Kevin, I don't know. Alright, Kevin doesn't have a criminal record. He's 16. And they're being charged with murder here. Wow, alrighty. She's also 16, doesn't have a criminal record. Abraham Bean, a 51-year-old mathematics teacher at Banana College Academy, was found dead in a vacant lot near the school. Abraham Bean's cause of death was determined to be as 5 stab wounds to his chest and abdomen. Statements of 2 students who became suspects the day before Abraham Bean was killed were used. It's true that there was an argument between our teacher and me. He insulted me in the middle of class and I couldn't swallow my pride and swore and left. But in no way did I intend to kill him. If I were to kill him, it would have been enough to hit that old senile in the middle of class, but I suppressed my anger and left the class. After I got out of school, I went to meet my friends. I was with them all day. My visit to my teacher's office the day before was purely for my questions. I think Kevin was the one who did it, because when the results of our math test were announced, our teacher was commenting on their grades to the class. When it was Kevin's turn, he insulted him in the middle of the whole class, saying things like, "You don't give a shit. You're too stupid for math." Afterwards, there was a verbal altercation between them, and Kevin left the classroom swearing at our teacher. I am a student who is very good at his lessons and loves his teachers very much. Why would I do such a thing? Again, wording issues here. I believe, this is Sydney. And I believe Sydney is supposed to be a female. Yep, female. So it should have been her. Little wording issues I've noticed in this I am the law portion, but that's alright. We'll get through them. Alright, what evidence do we have? Time of death, 6:10, 4:10 p.m. Cause of death, 5 stab wounds to the chest. Circumference. Alright, so message found on Kevin Dean's phone. Where are you guys? We need to meet urgently. It's very important. So he was not with his friends at 6:10. Our usual venue. What the hell happened? I'll tell you when I get home. I smeared everything on my face. Okay, we're waiting. So Kevin definitely is looking guilty. 8 o'clock. Come to my room today with an excuse. Don't text me when I'm home and I don't want to go to your room. Well then I'll upload the videos I took last time on the internet. I'm sure your family would be proud of you. You did it by force, disgusting scum. You also said yesterday if I came to your room, you would delete them. Okay. I mean, she has a reason. He doesn't have the alibi, he said, and he also said something about smeared on his face. Camera recording of Abraham's car leaving school at 4 p.m. Okay. So they're both guilty. Unless he can explain what was on his face. I'm trying to get back to that page just to make sure. I want to make sure it was Abraham Beam. Yep. Yeah, so he's guilty because of that. Sounds like she was doing something with her teacher she probably shouldn't have been doing. That was at 4 o'clock. Well, she's definitely lying. Time of death was at 4:10. So she had time to stab him or be there before she drove off. I didn't want to press that yet. Yeah, let me get out of that. I want to hear it from them. Did your teacher have a reason to insult you in the middle of class? Was there a different dialogue between you? He was a backward teacher who thought he could insult me for failing math. On your phone, you told your friends we need to meet urgently. What was it you said you had smeared on your face with your hand? Nothing to do with it. I tried to talk to a girl I liked at school today, and she got too excited and told me some weird things. She was annoyed and finished talking to me and left. So you said the reason you went to the teacher's room was just to ask questions, but that's not how it was understood in your messages. Can you explain the situation? I'm so ashamed that my family is here. About 1 week ago, he called me to his office and told me if I had failed the exam, and he would prevent me from graduating. He threatened me and told me if I did what he wanted, I could pass the exam. Then he harassed me. On the day of the incident, there was someone in Abraham's car when he left. Was it you? Yes, he wanted to force me to take me home. I accepted it at first, but after I got out of school, I was very scared and wanted to get off immediately. I told him that if he didn't let go, I would call my parents and tell them everything. He was scared. He dropped me off near school and I came home. I think they're both guilty. I really do. All right. Let me see here. I'm debating between first and second degree murder. Alright, there's a very open range to it. They are 16 years old. I'm going to give them 25 years. I think she probably had a reason. I think they were in on it together. She had seen the argument that he had had, and I think she instigated him into carrying out the stabbing because of the abuse that she had gone through. But it's still murder. It doesn't change the fact. So that's why I went with sort of the lighter sentence. I mean, if I thought that they had just really done cold-blooded murder, I would have given them at least 40 years. But there was reasons behind it, so that's why I gave them the 25. It still is going to mean they're going to be in prison into their 40s, and that's, I mean, I'm sentencing them with that being the minimum sentence. It really, for second-degree murder, it's life with parole here after 25 years. So when they are 41, they can then try to get out. How they've behaved in prison will determine that to a point, and I think that's very fair. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. If you enjoyed the episode, please go ahead and click that like button. And if you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you all back for more of JudgeSim.